Good morning and welcome to the Killik & Co market update. This week we've seen a return to more volatile conditions on markets, with major indices experiencing falls during the course of the week. The prompt for this has been inflation figures, which have come in at higher than previously expected, and most notably in the US on Wednesday we saw the consumer prices index numbers come in at 4.2%, which, as you can see from the following chart, is a big jump on where we were previously, and this was against an estimate of 3.6%. So, why is inflation a problem? Well, inflation is seen as a prompt to central bankers to increase interest rates. While on the one hand, rising interest rates are a reflection of a strengthening economy, on the other, they do pose a challenge for many businesses, particularly more growth-orientated businesses. Now, when an investor invests in a growth stock, typically a very innovative business, perhaps a technology-orientated business, they're not paying for profitability now, but instead paying for the prospect of more profitability in the future. Now, when interest rates are low, the cost of waiting for that future payoff are also low. However, if interest rates rise, so the opportunity costs associated with the investment also rise. At the moment, we don't know if this is essentially reflation rather than inflation, in other words, linked to the restocking of the global economy post the pandemic, or if it's the beginning of something more sustained. Now, more growth-orientated portfolios will certainly have seen the brunt of this selling, and if this is a particular concern to investors, including more defensive names, including more cyclical names in a portfolio, is likely to reduce the future sensitivity to inflation-linked volatility. Another big story from the last week has been the cybersecurity hack on the Colonial Oil Pipeline in the US. So this pipeline is absolutely critical infrastructure, as it's the longest pipeline in the US and it serves the majority of the East Coast. And therefore, the disruption has been absolutely huge. We've seen much longer queues, we've seen higher prices, and of course all sorts of problems for those businesses relying on the pipeline. Like other similar high-profile cyber attacks in recent months, part of the blame has been attributed to more flexible working practices, with engineers working remotely on the pipeline. Now, given that we don't think that these flexible working practices are going to go away, and given that clearly there is a huge amount of power in the hands of cyber criminals, we think that cybercrime is going to continue to be a real area of focus for governments and for companies. Now, as you can see from the following chart, a security which has definitely benefited from this focus in recent years is the Legal and General Cybersecurity Exchange Traded Fund, also known as the iSpy Fund. In other news this week, we had positive updates from two of the world's biggest drinks companies, Diageo and Moët Hennessy. Moët Hennessy are part of a larger luxury business, LVMH. In Diageo's case, the company have predicted that for the fiscal year 2021, they're going to see operating profit of at least 14%. And this has prompted management to restart a share buyback program, which was suspended during the pandemic. Under this, the business will be buying some £3.25 billion worth of stock between now and the summer of 2024. In the case of Moët Hennessy, as you can see from the following quote, again, the company struck a very upbeat note. And if we compare the revenues in the first quarter of 2021 with the revenues of the first quarter of 2019, on the basis that 2020 was something of an anomaly, we can see an increase of some 12% between these two comparison points. Looking to results in the week ahead, our analysts are in for a busy time as a number of our covered stocks are due to provide updates to the market. So on Tuesday we're going to be hearing from Vodafone and NG. On Wednesday, it will be the turn of TJX companies and Experian. And on Thursday, Tencent will be updating the market. That's it from us. Thank you for watching, and we hope you have a good weekend.